Hey, there we go, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon. I'm Brady Chapman. This is the Diamond Show, and today we are joined by the amazing Tim Burt from the USA. Tim has been doing lots of research and action in terms of cryptocurrency. Now, today, the world is moving faster than you think, so you can either keep up with technology or get left behind. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. We're going to be talking about blockchain, and Tim is going to be explaining to us how blockchain is impacting the world in various ways in terms of technology, and how companies and end users are using blockchain and adapting blockchain and how it's changing. Now, this is going to be quite an interesting broadcast because today we have two broadcasts on cryptocurrency. First of all, my dear friend Tim Burt from the USA, and then this evening at 8 p.m. we've got an amazing guy coming online who's called Dirk Ludwig, who's going to be talking more about cryptocurrency and a cryptocurrency conference in London in March. So if you're joining us right now, please do like, comment, and share. Please share the broadcast because cryptocurrency is the word on everybody's tongue, right? And with Bitcoin recently in the news with the great big climbs and then the drop, which cryptocurrency do you choose and why? So let's get straight in. Tim, welcome to the Diamond Show. How are you, my dear friend?
I'm great. It's a very cold London type of morning here in St. Louis. It's very cold and misty. So I feel like I'm in London, but I'm not. I'm actually in St. Louis. Yeah, you know, all of the broadcasts that you and I have done up to this point, we've been talking about advertising, and you might be saying, well, why is this guy who's, you know, done more than 30,000 commercials all of a sudden talking about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and blockchain? I am here to tell you that even if you don't know anything about Bitcoin or blockchain or cryptocurrency at all, this technology will impact your business. It will. The question is when and how soon. So I'm not saying that you have to understand everything about Bitcoin or blockchain or crypto. I'm trying to sound the alarm for these small businesses and alerting them, look, this is coming. You better be prepared for it now. The example I like to give is, let's go back to the year, let's say 2000. And when AOL bought Time Warner for about $162 billion, that was kind of the big wake-up call for a lot of people. Because all of a sudden it was, this internet thing isn't a fad anymore. This is the real deal. Right? So that woke a lot of people up saying, well, now I better have a website. I better get a website. So if you owned a small business back in 2000, 2001, and you didn't have a website, what did you do? Well, you panicked and you tried to find somebody who could build you a website, right? And so once you found somebody who could build you a website, you ended up probably paying way too much for something that was garbage. And then when it came time to update that website, whoever built it for you, you couldn't find. I've heard many, many stories of this. It's like, well, what happened to your web guy? I don't know. I can't find him. So now look at the advent of companies like Wix with GoDaddy and all of these other sites that let you build Squarespace. They let you build your own website, right? Very, very popular. We are at that moment. We are kind of at that pre-2000 moment right now with Bitcoin and blockchain, excuse me, and cryptocurrency. I just returned from a conference in Dallas. Here's the shirt to prove that I was there, right there. Here's my Bitcoin mug. See right there? The technology that is being used right now and being developed by some of these companies is mind-blowing. If you go to my page, my Tim Burt Media page, or even on my personal page, I posted a video that I shot with an ATM that is like an ATM on steroids, human growth hormones, kryptonite. I mean, this thing is unbelievable. It will let you buy cryptocurrency right there. It will let you transfer money virtually anywhere in the world. It will let you pay. You can buy an Amazon gift card with it. I'm telling you, I'm sounding the alarm. If you own a business, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy cryptocurrency. What I'm saying is I want to make you aware of what is coming. So you're not caught behind the 8 ball like you were in 2000 or 2001, scrambling to get a website. Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay. So Bradley's lagging just a little bit, but that's okay. All right. So here's a very, 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 very brief, a very brief history of cryptocurrency. We're actually coming up on year 9 right now of the idea of cryptocurrency. This actually started in 2009. Okay. So this is not like something that's came up in the last week. A person or a group named Satoshi Nakamoto released a paper on a website, a very obscure website, talking about digital currency and how it can be used. And this is not the first time that digital currency has been tried. There was actually a thing back in the 1990s called DigiCash. Didn't go anywhere because the technology wasn't there. The technology is here now. So Bitcoin is the face of all of this. Bitcoin is the face of all of this, but Bitcoin is really not the story here. What's going to impact your business is the technology below Bitcoin. It's called blockchain. I could sit here and talk about blockchain. In fact, the guy that you're going to have on a little bit later, Dirk, him and his friend, Harry, they actually mine Bitcoin and Monero and Ethereum and some of the other big coins. I'm not going to get into mining. That's a totally different subject. I'm trying to give you like Bitcoin for Dummies here, which probably is a book. But anyway, there's a thing called blockchain. Blockchain is what powers all of this. And it's simply, okay, think about this, Bradley. Let's say you wanted to back up your computer, okay, into the cloud. All right. So you want to back up your computer into the cloud, but let's say you want to put it on 5,000 different machines. Okay. So you want to back up your computer into the cloud on 5,000 different computers. If you wanted to go in and delete one file or change one letter in one document, how easy do you think that would be?
Not very easy at all.
Exactly. That's the power of blockchain. What blockchain does, instead of me sending Bradley something, or sending an email, which may or may not go through, sending an attachment, which may or may not go through, what blockchain essentially is, think of it as 5,000 separate computers all at the same time that all have the same information. So if I said, hey, I'm going to send 1 Bitcoin to Bradley, that transaction is recorded on 5,000, for example, computers all at the same time. It cannot be changed. It cannot be altered. It cannot be deleted. And if you tried, it would be very, 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 very hard. So it's an open public ledger which cannot be altered. Now, to try and use it to move, most people are trying to use it to move money, like Bitcoin. Here's the key. There are companies that I saw at this conference in Dallas that are going to use blockchain to send medical information. For example, an MRI. There's a company that I saw there called Deep Radiology, and I have no affiliation with this company at all. I'm not getting paid to say their name. But Deep Radiology has developed technology that will allow them to see an MRI within 1/4 of a second. Now imagine that you're a doctor in Poland and you have a patient who came in who you're not sure what's wrong with him. So let's say you have a friend, a colleague at Walter Reed Hospital in New York or in DC. That doctor in Poland could send that MRI safely, securely, quickly over the blockchain to their friend in Walter Reed. And that way they could see exactly what's going on at the same time. Without it being altered, without it being changed, without any possibility of something being corrupted in there. There's another company, very quick story. There's another company that they're trying to figure out a way, or actually they've created a way to remotely lock or turn off the trigger of a gun using blockchain technology. Now, they're saying that this would prevent friendly fire in wartime situations, or you could shut down a gun of a bad guy. You could also end up kind of bad. I think they're on the front end of that. But my point is, blockchain is doing a lot more than just to move money. Okay, blockchain is what is going to change business as you know it. So I know there's a lot there. Here's the thing: if you go to YouTube and you try to watch some videos about blockchain or cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, there are about 100 good ones and 8 million bad ones. So don't try to find the good ones. I'm telling you, there's so much stuff out there. You don't have to buy Bitcoin. You don't have to trade cryptocurrency. You don't have to do that. I just want you to be aware of what is out there right now that you don't even know exists, because it moves so fast. That's why this is called the world is moving faster than you think.
So Tim, let me ask you a couple of questions. I mean, there's going to be different people watching. There's going to be two trains of thought here. There's going to be digital currency, digital assets, cryptocurrency. The people out there that are watching, if you're watching, you're a crypto trader. And you're buying, selling, and dealing in cryptocurrency, you're mining currency. Mm-hmm. And of course, then you've got blockchain. For those that are watching right now in terms of the digital currency, cryptocurrencies, and there's so many. When I started to look after we spoke a couple of weeks ago at the different lists of cryptocurrencies and what they're trading at, the market's quite volatile, right, with some of these currencies. So what's your advice right now? Because obviously recently with the whole crypto, the Bitcoin and everything dropped, the pants dropped out of it. Now, a lot of people are invested into Bitcoin. They've made so much money, but there's a volatility. My concern with the crypto side, it's not the blockchain, because the blockchain, which we're going to come back onto, is going to change the world. And I think you're absolutely right. The way this technology, blockchain, is going to change the way that people, use applications, create applications, and do everyday business. But from a trading point of view, for the traders listening, and you've been dabbling in different cryptocurrencies in your research for this blockchain, and of course, you've been involved in a big box retail for many years. You're an advertising specialist over there in the States that works globally. I call you the advertising Jedi, the Jedi master of advertising. So how do these ladies and gentlemen feel that are dealing in cryptocurrencies? Some are going to be winners, some are going to be losers. Let's talk about the volatility a little bit and the risk and exposure.
Yeah. Do you, Bradley, personally, have you ever bought stocks or bonds, or you ever played the stock game?
Absolutely.
Okay. The crypto market, here's the difference between the New York Stock Exchange, the FTSE, the NASDAQ, I would pick any one of them. They have set trading hours. And they're starting to expand those a little bit, right? But Monday through Friday, except for holidays, between 9 a.m. and 4:30, you can trade. Great. Not with crypto. Crypto is 24/7 and it is global. So it's not just people in the UK or the US or South America or wherever buying stuff. This is global, and it is 24/7, and it is ungodly, extremely volatile. If you ever watch CNBC or Fox Business or any of those cable channels, they'll say, big breaking news for them is, oh my gosh, Home Depot was up 2.5%. There are currencies that have doubled in a day on the crypto exchanges. If you want your mind truly just blown, go to coinmarketcap.com. The one that I look at is coincap.io. And they give you real-time live streaming market prices. Just sit there and watch it for 10 minutes. And you will be shocked, especially at the volatility of something like the big coins like Bitcoin. Ethereum is can be a little wonky. I think it's a very stable coin, but it goes up and down so fast. I've literally doubled my money in a day and then lost it. Gone back to square one within like 2 or 3 days. It moves really, really, really fast. What I would say is the crypto market is not for the faint of heart. If you have a weak stomach, and like if you see your thing drop 10% or something, don't even get involved with it yet. It's got to stabilize. It's got to stabilize. And the reason that it's so unstable is because it's not. This is what scares banks and governments. It is not regulated by any of them, not yet. The U.S. is trying here with the Securities Commission. They're trying to understand Bitcoin and blockchain and how governments can benefit from it. But when you have somebody like Jamie Dimon,
did you say benefit or control? Did you say benefit or control there, Tim?
Well, both. I mean, really.
Yeah, there's a question mark, right?
Yeah, I hope neither happens because if you want to talk about handing control of money to the people, this is it. This is really the market's going to decide what Bitcoin is worth. The market's going to decide what coins survive and what go away. You talk about Bitcoin. Guess what? Bitcoin's not the only coin. There are about 1,500 different currencies you could buy right now. The problem is 90% of them are garbage. So you have to, the thing is you have to figure out which ones are actually worth something, and they're all tied to a project. The question is, what project do you think is worthy of your investment? There's one that I buy that I'm a big fan of, and I've been holding it for a long time. A very quick story, project called Dent, D-E-N-T. I'm not saying go out and buy Dent right now. Here's what Dent's going to do. In Kenya and in Zimbabwe and in other parts of sub-Saharan Africa, you know what's more valuable than money, Bradley? Let me show you. Well, that mobile data is more valuable than money. People over in those countries had been trading mobile data
really
as currency. So what Dent aims...
That's powerful because everything's changed, right? In terms of mobile data, nobody texts anymore. Yeah. Nobody uses really traditional call lines. We all call via WhatsApp or Messenger, right, as you and I do, internationally. And data now has become, a big commodity, right? Yeah, I get that. Makes sense, right? So what Dent wants to do is basically eliminate international roaming. They want to basically create a way for people to share data. So like if I got this panicked message from Bradley at 3 a.m, he says, "Oh brother, I'm on my way to London right now and I've run out of mobile minutes. Can you help me?" Yes, I can. And that's exactly how that call would sound. But I would be able to send Bradley, I'd say, you know what, here's 200 minutes or whatever, or here's 50 meg of data or something like that. That's what Dent wants to do. Dent basically wants to eliminate mobile, international roaming and be able to exchange data anywhere in the world. I think that's a phenomenal project. So that's why I believe in it. That's why I bought some Dent. So again, this is, you don't have to know everything about cryptocurrency. I'm just saying, for God's sakes, please wake up. Don't get caught like it was in 2000 or 2001 and you're scrambling to get a website. To get a wallet, all you have to do really to get started on cryptocurrency is to get a wallet. It's a digital wallet. That's all it is. That's the first step. And it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just get a wallet. So when it comes time for, hey, can you accept Monero or Litecoin or Bitcoin? Yeah, sure. You have different wallets for each cryptocurrency. Just start doing a little bit of research now, and I'm telling you, you will save money. And in the future,
and you'll be able to adapt that much easier. It's just shocking how fast this is moving, and I fear that it's moving too fast in some sectors, and governments are going to want to try to stick their hand into it, and that might be a good thing. It might be a bad thing, because the thing with Bitcoin is it has to stabilize. It's too volatile right now for the average person to get in there. We saw Bitcoin go on an amazing run last year from $1,000 up to over almost $20,000 in a year. And then it halved, and now it's hovering around $10,000 right now. But still, that shows how powerful and how fast this does truly move.
So, Tim, let's get into another question. I just want to say thanks for some ladies and gentlemen that joined us. So, Chrissy Gregory is saying she will look into the loves the impersonation of your UK voice, right, which is beautiful. We did pretty well, right? But Tim's also a voiceover expert as well. So if you're watching right now and you want to connect up with Tim Burt, ladies and gentlemen, please do. He's one of my dear friends. He's actually flying into London in July 2018. He's going to be speaking on stage at the Business and Empowerment Show. This man's amazing. He's got some 30,000 adverts out there. He's worked with clients and companies and governments all around the world. He really is a dear friend, alongside Sean Maroney in America, President of Teams of America and founder of the BC Revolution, and the amazing Scott Reagan, who owns EG Media, who's an awesome connectivity guy. Tim's going to be speaking as well at the St. Louis Business Trade Show in April. So if you want to see him, we'll give you Tim's details shortly. But for voiceovers, but for advertising, YouTube creation, and understanding how to take your brand to market in terms of YouTube's, in terms of videos, in terms of how your brand is coming across, Tim really is the man. He did an advert recently, it was an advert, I guess, on YouTube about something called the cow sprayer with a guy he works with, a client, where the cows are going through this spraying machine, which is absolutely amazing. And this is now being sold all over the world. So please do get involved and connect with Tim. Let's just say hi to a few people. Chrissy Gregory, thank you very much indeed for joining. Appreciate that so much. TT Amoli, thank you so much indeed. Great chatting with you the other night. Robert Brooker from Canada, thank you so much for joining. Serpa Hanisalo from Finland, how are you doing? It's great to see you very much indeed. Now, Vicky Condell is an amazing lady. We're going to be sharing some information about her later on this week in relation to the Diamond Show, so stay tuned. But Vicky Condell, that's a name for you to watch in relation to my show and where we're going and where she's going in terms of broadcasting. Muna Masoma Afsha, thank you so much indeed for joining, placing some comments there. Umar Hussain, good evening to you. Robert J. Moore from Canada, good evening to you. Robert and myself are both speaking in April at Raymond Aaron's event in Toronto, Canada, with Les Brown and Mark McCoy, gold medalist. Jake Turner Coombs, good evening to you as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do, excuse me, put a comment in the comment box. Where are you in the world? What are you doing? What's your business? What do you think of the broadcast? As you engage with these broadcasts, you're getting yourself connected. The Diamond Show is about connecting you around the world with so many different people. The world is indeed smaller than you think. And as Tim says, the world is moving faster than you think. So thank you for your contribution, ladies and gentlemen. Please do like, comment, and share. And also invite friends into this broadcast, because whether you're watching now on replay, this is one of the key topics. We're going to move now a bit more into blockchain. I'm going to talk a bit more about blockchain with Tim and how blockchain is disrupting the way that we do business in the UK and around the world in the USA. It is changing. And as Tim says, you've got to be on the pitch to score a goal. You've got to be in the game to play, and you've got to be in the arena to see the band. This is an amazing opportunity to hear from Tim Burt, who's been doing amazing amount of research on blockchain. Tim, blockchain, what's happening with that? Where's it going? And who else is considering using applications? We spoke about companies using employees getting paid in cryptocurrency via blockchain systems. Yep. I know there's a long way to go in terms of volatility, but what sort of companies are looking at blockchain, and how are they serving, and what's the applications?
One of the biggest companies looking at or using blockchain right now, believe it or not, is Overstock.com. You familiar with Overstock, Bradley?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not familiar with Overstock? That might be a U.S. thing. Overstock.com is, well, it was what their name implies. And they sell, it's almost like Big Lots here. They have closeouts and other, if somebody has too many of one thing, Overstock will buy it and then they'll resell it. Overstock.com has been on using blockchain and crypto and accepting crypto for a long time. The rumor was that Amazon was going to start accepting crypto. There's a coin called Ripple. There was this big rumor that on the February 4th earnings call or February 5th earnings call, Amazon, Jeff Bezos is going to say, we're accepting Ripple. Well, that never happened. And Ripple went and totally. It's on its way back up now. But when it comes to blockchain, here's as somebody in media who's been in media for a long time, I will tell you one of the most exciting projects going on right now. There are a number of companies. One is called Ladium. Another one is called WildSpark. Another one is called Basic Attention Token. What they are doing is when you go to YouTube, and if you like a video, so instead of liking a video, how would you like to be able to easily reward the person who created that video with actual money? How about that? So there's a token called AMP. There's another one called BAT. Ladium is trying to do this too. When you talk about radio and television stations, at least here in the US, their whole big push is video. And they didn't get it until it was too late. Listen to me. I wrote a 4-page article about this. If you're in radio or television, investigate this, because this will make you money. I'm telling you. It's not hard to set up, but don't try to do it yourself. Everybody's pushing for video. 72% of the web traffic right now is video. As my friend Ted Sloan says, within, I believe, 5 years, it's going to be 77% of all internet traffic is video. That's how powerful video is. AMP, Ladium, BAT, and there are others. I've got them written. Gaze is another one, Gaze. These are tokens that they want to reward people for watching videos and creating videos. How much time do you spend watching a video? They want to basically reward you for doing this with actual money. There's another company that, think about this, Bradley. Here's something for your event, your future speaking events. Let's say that you have an event that's outside. Okay. And you have maybe this thing where you have it like at an amphitheater outside. And if you want to reward people for coming there and just listening to free speakers. Okay. And this is very, very, very rough. But let's say that you have your phone, right? You have your phone and you tell people, hey, if you come down to what's an amphitheater there in London or near you that you could hold an event, Bradley, the name of one, like, I don't know.
Yeah, the O2.
Oh, the O2.
Perfect. Yeah, the O2's got an amphitheater. Yeah.
Yeah. Come down to the O2. Here. How about this, Bradley? Come down to the O2 on Saturday, June 5th, whatever. And we're going to have an incredible array of speakers that day, talking about everything from business to finance to personal coaching to life coaching to whatever. And if you stay for at least an hour, we will reward you with some tokens, which you can buy, which Bradley would buy from a third-party sponsor. Let's say the O2, or let's say Virgin decides to become a sponsor. Okay, well, I'm going to take half. What Bradley would do is take half that money from Virgin, buy tokens, and then reward people who stay there for an hour and check in with their phone. You would get some tokens. Those tokens could be worth pennies. They could be worth tens, hundreds of dollars down the road. Who knows? We don't know. The question you might be saying is, how do you know that they're going to stay there for an hour? Because it's geo-fenced, and the blockchain would record all of the people that are there, so they could not come back and say, oh, I was there. No, you weren't. Or yes, you were. Congratulations. Here's your tokens. Do you see it now? This is just one application. I'm telling you, you have to just get on board. Pay attention now. And you will save yourself a lot of headaches, a lot of time, and a lot of money down the road. I'm telling you. Like, for example, you want to see what $10 billion looks like, Bradley?
Yeah, who doesn't, right?
I've got one right here. I've got it right here. I've got it right here. Look.
Bring it on, brother. Wow, look at that. All right, gotcha. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe dollars. I love it.
Do you know what that's worth? You know what that's worth?
About £5.
Nothing. That currency was basically null and void a few years ago. Everybody talks about, Bitcoin has this negative stigma to it. Drug dealers and hitmen and all of these nefarious things. Well, you know what the biggest currency ever associated with nefarious activities is? It's this one right here.
US dollar, right?
Yeah, because God knows the US dollar has never been the US dollar has never been used for anything nefarious or bad, nor has the South African rand, the British pound, the Japanese yen. We could go on and on and on, right? Bitcoin, yes, Bitcoin has had a little bit of a rough go from the start, but it's the bigger the adoption, the easier it's going to be. More people are understanding this, and I'm telling you, just get on board right now. Just get on board. You don't have to buy it. Just understand what's coming.
It's a massive transition, and you and I have been talking, for about a year now, on screen. We've done a few broadcasts together, which I love when we come together. We talk a lot off air. We've become great friends. We're going to meet each other in person in July. So, the world is moving fast. And you think in many ways, ladies and gentlemen, communication, how we interact with people, how we trade in terms of what currency we use. Strangely enough, Tim, the other day, my website, which is going through some changes at the moment with the new book that's coming out, which is forwarded by Les Brown, and all the events. There's so much going on, right? My head's like exploding right now. But as I went to my WooCommerce shopping cart, it actually brought up Bitcoin in the shopping cart of WooCommerce on my functionality in terms of what I want to trade in. So I can now change my shopping cart in my website to have Bitcoin as a currency. But here's the risk, right? I remember the days when I used to trade. I used to import and export from Indonesia. And 1 year I imported about $3 million worth of stock from Indonesia, clothing. Now, what I had to do when I used to import is I used to have to buy my dollars forward. So, for example, if I placed an order today in Indonesia for a container that was about, say, $50,000, the currency could have moved 10 or 15% within the 90 days that it actually landed in the UK, where my letter of credit would be then paid to the supplier. So what I used to do was buy my currency forward. You can buy currencies, spot, plus 30, plus 60, plus 90.
Right.
So I'd have to buy my currency, US dollars in advance, plus 90 days to fix my pricing. Of course, when we're trading in a cryptocurrency, we cannot fix that currency. So isn't there a risk for people that are trading in a coin, in digital assets? There is massively a potential risk for them trading. Now, I get it. Everybody's trading, digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and they're buying and selling like a stock market that's unregulated, but as you say, open 24 hours. But for companies, I guess they'd be very keen to get involved in trading in a coin, in a currency, in a digital asset. But it's just too volatile for them right now because, I could buy something that's $1.40, as it's happened recently. The dollar was 121, 122. We're at 1.39, I think it is. I've not checked the last couple of days. That's a massive rise and transition that could hurt profitability. When do you think we'll get to the stage that a cryptocurrency, although it's going to trade and it will trend and it will be volatile, when will the risk be lower to trade and buy in a currency? When do you think that's going to happen, or will it not?
Boy, that's kind of the big that's that's one of the questions that, like, if you have to get to the top of the mountain to find the answer out, because I don't think anybody truly knows yet. You could say that if the U.S. government, the Canadian government, the UK government, if China ever, pardon my French, gets their shit together and figures out what they're going to do, if they're going to actually do this or not do this, because they're banning ICOs, they're banning exchanges, but yet Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, is able to have his own coin. Well, which is it? South Korea has been extremely volatile. When the world comes together and says, these programmers come together and say, look, here's what's going to stabilize the price of Bitcoin. That's when businesses are really going to jump in. There's a story, it's a true story. There was a coffee shop, or a bar that it was accepting Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin when they were doing this was so volatile, and it still is incredibly volatile. But this was back when it was like in the $3,000 to $4,000 range, and so it was like really jumping around. The problem was this bar was taking Bitcoin. The price changed so much from the time the person made the order to the time the drink got poured to the time the drink got back to the table that the poor server had no idea what to charge. You know what I mean? It literally is that volatile. So are governments going to come in and regulate it? I don't know. Is the world going to kind of come to a consensus and say, look, here's our standard. There is a token called Tether. It's tied to the US dollar. I don't know. If you're able to figure that out, you know what, you could make a whole lot of money. But I'm not saying that Bitcoin doesn't have its problems. It does. Crypto has its problems. It's too volatile. It moves too fast. Some would say it's unstable. Some would say that the transaction times are too slow on some things. Bitcoin is not the best coin. There's another coin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, move far faster than Bitcoin. Bitcoin was just first. So it's not a question of really fixing the problems with Bitcoin. It's fixing the problems with cryptocurrency as a whole. That's where we have to start. Who knows when that's going to happen? So
let me ask you, you've been trading in cryptocurrency for a little while. You've been doing your research. You know, we've been speaking about it for a little while. I get so many people, excuse me, connect with me and contact me each day. Hey, Brad, do you want to do this? Brad, do you want to do that? Of course, I don't have the time during my day, but I'm happy to talk about it and, understand that if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Sure.
I remember when people started, this whole explosion when stocks started to change, and there was this stop trading where you could put into a program where you could say, for example, something was going up and you were buying, it would go up, it would take you out, go back in, buy on the way up, but it would buy in small chunks on the way up with stop gaps, and when you were selling on the way down, it would be selling on short stop gaps. So it was a way to protect your it would reduce the upside slightly, but what it would do is it would protect the downside. So if the bottom falled out, the arse falled out of it, of course you were protected, right?
Yeah.
Now, there isn't anything like that, as I understand it, within digital currency trading, within cryptocurrency trading, and you kind of got to keep your eye on it. Am I wrong? Is there some kind of platforms that do give you protection?
Yes, there are a few. There are. See, this is the thing about cryptocurrency. There are different exchanges, just like the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, or the New York Stock Exchange, the FTSE. What's the other big one there in the UK?
The AIM.
Yeah. There are multiple exchanges that you can play, like Binance, Cryptopia in New Zealand. There are just tons of these. Some of them allow you to set stop losses. Some don't. It depends on what you're buying and where you're buying it and how much, how risky, how much of a gambler are you? That's the question. How fearless are you? Some people, I've bought 30, 40, 50,000 coins at a time and just they're sitting there. And you know what? If they go up to $1 each or $10 each or whatever, I will see you on my private island. But until then, um, you know,
Actually, you're right. I remember that.
Right. But yeah, you can make a lot. You can make a lot of money very quickly, and you can lose a lot of money very quickly. There are people who would. There are people who, you hear these stories about people that bought Bitcoin when it was, $1 or $10 or 30, and it shoots up to almost $20,000. Here's the quick thing about Bitcoin. Why Bitcoin is kind of the face of all of this. Bitcoin. Why Bitcoin's all the face of this? There are only going to be ever 21 million Bitcoins. That's it. That's it. It's not like this, where the government can come in and print whatever they want and devalue your money. That's what happened to that's why the Zimbabwe $10 billion piece of paper isn't worth anything. Might as well light it on fire. There are only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. Here's the reality. A lot of those that were created very, very early on are lost. So in reality, we're only probably going to have about 16 to 17 million Bitcoin. That's it. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, all the way down to 8 decimal places. You want to buy 0.00001 Bitcoin, you can. It's not gonna be really worth a whole lot right now, but you can do it. That's the beauty of this, is they're not going to make more of these when it comes to Bitcoin. They can print these all day long. It's paper. That's the beauty.
What do you think about this, right? There's some great thoughts and topics. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're with Tim Burt from Tim Burt Media in St. Louis in the USA. Tim and I have been friends for about a year now and broadcasting on various subjects. Tim is an advertising and branding master, and it's absolutely no doubt in my mind that Tim's actually working on this cryptocurrency. I've actually introduced him to a couple of friends of mine and people that I'm working with in London, because Tim takes a really fantastic view of the product and what it means, and from that he understands the marketing aspect. So this is really great for Tim, but it's also great for you. And let me tell you why. Oh my gosh, I'm just looking out the window here, Tim. We are absolutely blizzarding here in the UK. Oh my gosh, the snow is coming down big time, right? So I want to ask another question about crypto and currency and blockchain, because this is a great conversation. And, technology is an amazing thing. But just before we do, Phil Sebelano Carew, thank you for joining. Thank you for your comments. Keep the comments coming, ladies and gentlemen. Keep the comments coming. Also want to say thank you to TT Amoli. Thank you so much indeed for your comments. Keep the comments coming, TT. Also, Mindy Hart is online. Mindy, as you know, dear friend, your dear friend, Mindy Hart, who's the PR chick, SEO expert as well, from Kansas City. And there you've got Tim's website, timburtmedia.com. I'm going to add that to the screen as well so you can see that momentarily. But go to Tim's website and take a peek. If you're watching right now, I want you to please share, comment, and like. Put some hearts across the screen. Put some thumbs up across the screen, because your engagement means a lot to me and to the audience. And to please place comments. Also say hi. Where are you? What country are you from? Engage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back. Also, Chrissy Gregory, thank you so much for your comments. Appreciate that. Robert Brooker, Serpahani Salo, Vicky Condell, thank you so much indeed. Muna Masoma, thank you so much indeed for joining. Appreciate that. Robert J. Moore from Canada as well. Now, let's get back into it. Let's ask another question. Gamblers will always tell you about their successes. So somebody goes into a betting shop, right, and they bet on a horse, right, and they lose money. None of us really like to tell about when we fall, adversity, when we make a mistake. Now, I don't mind sharing in business my adversities, my mess ups. Trust me, I've made quite a few, yeah? Sure. Whether it's been my own fault, whether it's been financial circumstances. I can tell you one of my most monumental ones was when the Far East crashed in 1998. It was devalued by 2/3 overnight. I lost £500,000. At the time, that was $900,000, right? Went to bed okay, woke up bust, broken, skint, and homeless. It was horrific, right? Man. Now, you learn a lot from these things, right? And, I protected myself on dollars, but how could I protect myself against a Far East crash? But when these things happen and we lose money, we don't always feel comfortable talking about it because it can be seen as a failure or a mistake. But we love to talk about our successes. So when I hear a gambler saying, wow, I just won a triple win, whatever it's called out, I don't know what the gambling thing is, right? A triple win combo, you know, when they lose money, they don't say anything about it, but they go quiet for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the same thing's happening with people trading out there in cryptocurrencies? So then people are taking some massive losses and some massive upsides as well. And how do you think they're dealing with that? Because it's impacting families as well, like any other investment type scenario, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the biggest exception to that, have you heard the story about the two pizzas, the two Bitcoin pizzas? Have you heard this?
No, but I'm getting hungry.
This was back in 2010, and you can look I can't remember the guy's name, is Armando or something like that. Anyway, very, very quick story. Armando was this guy, we'll just call him Armando, had a ton of Bitcoin back in 2010 when it was like 6 cents or whatever. And he got I guess bored, for lack of a better term, and put a message out saying, I've got all this Bitcoin, I want to buy something with it. So he found this place that sold him 2 pizzas, and I believe he paid, I want to say, you can look this up, but I want to say it was 1,000 Bitcoin or 10,000 Bitcoin or some obscene amount. And he had he basically paid, you know, $500 million for 2 pizzas. Uh-oh. Ooh. What happened? Bradley froze up. I'm here. Are we done? Uh-oh. Yeah, so anyway, if I'm still live, yeah, this guy basically paid, you know, I could try and find that real quick. The Bitcoin, you know, it's like if you just look up Bitcoin pizza story, here we go. Yeah, it was for 2 Papa John pizzas delivered. Oh, Laszlo, who ponied up 10,000 Bitcoin. At that time, it was about $30, and he said it was a good pizza. 10,000 Bitcoin today, right now, would be, let me tell you, we are sitting at Bitcoin right now, as I am talking to you on CoinCap, is $10,602. So do the math. So 10,000 times 10,602, $106 million is what he basically gave away for 2 pizzas. So, you know, that's Papa John's for you. But anyway, oh, here comes Bradley, I think. There he is.
Sorry, I lost connection on my own machine, so I've had to change onto my second laptop. Sorry about that. Well done, team. Tim, you kept it rocking and rolling. So my microphone, you may not be able to hear me perfectly. Can you hear me okay, Tim?
I can hear you great.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. This is what happens with technology. Always good to have a second laptop standing by.
That's right. Did you hear the story about the pizza, though? Did you hear the story about the guy? It was 10,000 Bitcoin he gave up that would, and it equaled at that time about $30.
Right.
And he traded that in for 2 pizzas. That 10,000 Bitcoin right now is worth over $100 million.
That's outrageous, right?
A little bit.
It's a great story. I'm just plugging myself in while I'm talking to you. I'm not on my web. I'm not on my main cam and microphone. Sorry about the audience, but we're back in the game. I might be stuttering. I'm on a second broadband setup. So, Tim, let me ask you another question. Should everybody be involved in some form of currency trading?
No, not right now. That's a tough question. What's your risk tolerance? You hear stockbrokers talk about risk tolerance. It's the same thing here. If you are comfortable taking, let's say, 100 quid or $200, whatever, if you're comfortable taking that, and if you never saw that again, are you okay losing that? You know, maybe you take $200 and you buy $200 of Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or Ripple or Cardano or whatever. If you're okay doing that, and if you're okay just leaving it and sitting it on the side and never looking at it for another 2, 3, 5 years, whatever. If you're okay doing that, then by all means, do it. If you want to day trade like these guys down at the FTSE and the NASDAQ, then be prepared for a roller coaster ride. And like those nights that you had, that night you woke up, flat broke and you lost almost $1 million. And yeah, okay, get ready for that like once every 3 days because you will get eaten.
That's outrageous.
It's not for everybody.
But people are making money, out of the. I just put the right website details up there, timburtmedia.com. Superb. To find out more about Tim, you've got to visit timburtmedia.com. Cryptocurrency is an amazing conversation, and more we're becoming aware. There's a second thought process behind this, Tim, which I'm thinking now is not just about getting involved with Bitcoin, but the whole point of how it's disrupting financial markets around the world and governments. And this is really quite interesting because the governments can't control at the moment this money. They can't control the transactions. Now, governments, of course, don't like it when they cannot control money. So, also, obviously, Bitcoin was created by the Japanese guy, which was quite a secret, first of all, but then they came out, didn't they, say, this is what we've done. Do you think the governments can force regulation within digital trade and digital assets and cryptocurrency? Or is it something that the public can control themselves because it's stepping away from financial institutional control with the countries, right, around the world?
I think there are good sides and bad sides to both of those arguments. The good side of the government actually controlling it is it would provide almost immediate stability to Bitcoin. The downside of that is that we're right back where we are with this. We're right back where we are. They can manipulate it. They can change it and do whatever they want. If they say, oh, you know what? I know the initial plan was to only have 21 million Bitcoin ever. Well, we decided we're going to double that. Well, all of a sudden now your money just is worth less. And that's the same thing, quantitative easing. It's paper. It's paper. That's why this no longer exists. That's why Zimbabwe basically ruined this. Here's the problem with paper money. Earlier in 2017, in India, Prime Minister Modi declared, maybe you heard the story, I believe it was the 5,000 and the 10,000 rupee note, basically illegal. Did you ever hear this story?
No.
Oh yeah. I may have the denominations wrong and I apologize. You can look this up. It's Prime Minister Modi declared those currencies illegal. And he said, you have 4 hours to turn them in.
Oh my gosh.
Can you, okay, imagine if Theresa May all of a sudden said, the 20 quid note is no longer valid and you have to turn these in. Guess what? In India, people died because they had no access to their money. They had no access to food. So when you talk about manipulating paper, that's the beauty of digital currency. It cannot be manipulated. If a government is to get involved, and there are some, like here in the U.S., Arizona, parts of...
Is that me frozen now or Tim frozen? I love this. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you can still hear us. Is that me that's frozen out or Tim? I think we're still live, ladies and gentlemen. I think you can still hear me. We are with Mr. Tim Burt, who is from the United States of America, St. Louis, in fact, in Missouri. We've been talking about cryptocurrency today. We've had an amazing broadcast. Technology is moving. The world is moving faster than we think. Obviously, I want to thank Tim for joining today. Let me just see if Tim's going to come back on air. Hopefully, everything is still fine. You can still see me. Give me a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen, if you can still see me. But we've been with Tim Burt, ladies and gentlemen. We had a great chat. It's now actually 3:30. We've been going for an hour. Yeah, we've lost Tim, but I'm still live. It's funny how things go. So my laptop went on one connection. Hey, Tim's back. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, he's back. He's back. He's back in the room. Here we go. Here we go. We got him back. Here we go. Mr. Tim Burt back in the room.
Here I am.
There we go. Carry on, Tim.
Yeah, I just think that that the government, just to kind of wrap up my thought, the governments that don't fight this and learn how to work with the cryptocurrency community and the blockchain community, those are the ones that are really, they stand to benefit the most. You know, there are Bitcoin ATMs, as I talked about earlier. It's going to be interesting to see how countries like Germany and Brazil handle this, because especially Mexico. I mean, you think about all of the transactions. How many people died because of paper money in Mexico? How many people around the world, for that matter? A lot of these crooks were accepting Bitcoin as ransom payment. That's why it got this bad name. But I think the governments that learn how to work with crypto and not against it, those are the ones that stand to benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we've been joined today by the amazing Tim Burt in America. He's an amazing guy, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking about cryptocurrency. If you're just joining us, please do go back once you've finished the broadcast and look at the stars. There's been some amazing tips there from Tim. We've also been speaking about blockchain and why companies are where blockchain is disrupting global transactions, not just in financial terms, but how blockchain is being utilized to change the world in terms of technology, how technology is used, and what's being implemented in terms of blockchain is quite staggering and quite amazing. And as Tim says, I say the world is smaller than you think, and Tim saying the world is moving faster than you think. Both of those statements are so very, very true. We've been on the Diamond Show today. I'm Bradley Chapman. Now, if you want to book your show and you want to get yourself on the Diamond Show, connect yourself around the world, and with my connections, I'd love to hear your story and what you'd love to say. You can go to bradleychapman.com, click on the Diamond Show, and you can find out more about how you can broadcast your story, your business, your ideas to the world via my show. They're also shared on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course, YouTube. To find out more about Tim Burt, ladies and gentlemen, please go to timburtmedia.com and friend him on Facebook. You'll find him on this link. He's just writing a check there to you. It's a Bitcoin check from Tim Burt Media. He just signed it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
And gentlemen, we've been talking about cryptocurrency and blockchain. I've been with amazing Tim Burt in the USA, dear friend. We're looking forward to July when Tim comes to London and speaks on stage at my business and empowerment. Wow, there's some amazing stuff happening right now. The world is moving faster than you think. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to get in the game. You've got to get on the pitch of life. You've got to take a swing, step up to the plate, take a swing. You might miss here and there, but you've got to step up and take a swing. But be careful with this digital trading. It is a risk. And as Tim said, listen, put yourself an amount of money aside if you're going to do this and say, listen, $200, $300, $500 is what I could afford to lose. Use that. Don't use any more. See how you get on. But for more tips about digital currency trading, speak to Tim Burt. Now, later on this evening at 8 p.m., we're promoting a cryptocurrency congress in the UK with Harry Sardinas and Dirk Ludwig. Now, Harry is a dear friend of mine. He's from Cuba. Whenever I mention Harry's name, I start talking like a Cuban. Hey, mojito, baby. Harry is going to be online later on. And my dear friend Tim Burt, I can't do his American accent. I'm going to really struggle there. Tim's also a voice-over expert. So, Tim, let's finish up the broadcast with one final tip you can think of to advise people on cryptocurrency. What's the last comment, the last thought that you want to leave everybody with today, Tim?
We are so early in the game here. To use an American baseball analogy, and I apologize, I don't know cricket terminology, but here's a soccer terminology for you. We are in the first second of the first minute of the first game of the season. Okay? When it comes to crypto and blockchain and everything, it is so early that don't think that what is set up now is going to be the way it's going to be in 10 years. Think about the web, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, think about when YouTube was in its infancy. It's nowhere near as advanced as it is now. It wasn't then. We're so early You don't have to buy anything right now, but if you want to and you want to get in super early, this is a great time to do it. But don't think that you have to, and don't think that that we have kind of hit the wall here, because we are just starting. The ref has just blown the whistle and signaled the start of the game. That's really where we are. Even though the crypto the crypto world has really been around for going on 9 years now, we're so early. We're so early. So don't get spooked by it. Don't get scared by it. This is an amazing, unbelievable, unprecedented opportunity that I never thought we would see in our lifetime. And yet, here it is. If you own a business, you don't have to buy crypto. Just get set up to accept it. That's all you have to do. Just start there. And by the way, like my final piece of advice, do not try to do this yourself. Talk to somebody who has done this before. Talk to me, talk to Harry, talk to Dirk, talk to Bradley. They will hook you up with people who have done this and do this for a living. There are plenty of groups out there. Don't do this by yourself, because you will, I'll tell you what, if you try to transfer money from one place to another and you do something wrong, it's gone forever. There's no getting it back. I'm not kidding you. It literally will vanish because it becomes an untraceable transaction. So you have to do this very carefully, and just talk to somebody who knows what they're doing and has done it before.
Beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to put up once again on the screen where you can find Tim, timburtmedia.com. Find him on Facebook, as you know. Now connect up with him, have a chat with him. Tim has created over 30,000 adverts all over the world. Former CBS radio advertising executive. He's the voiceover Jedi Master. He's the advertising Jedi Master, and now the crypto guru from the USA. Ladies and gentlemen,
but I appreciate that.
Right. I got so many titles for Tim Burt. Tim, it's always a pleasure to speak with you. I love talking off air with you when we share and we collaborate about business. You know, we pass so much stuff back and forth. It's exactly what global collaboration should be. Yeah. And I thank you for that. And I know that I've got a little bit more busier in the last few weeks. I know with this broadcast should have been about 2 weeks ago. But thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for sharing my journey. In the early days when I was just starting out, you was always there for me to support me. And I hope today that the audience has taken great value. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you've been on the Diamond Show. My name is Bradley Chapman. I am, as many of you know now, I'm a broadcaster, an event management specialist, a business coach, a life coach, and I now train people to broadcast and have their own show on air, and how to connect with the world and interview people like Bernie Swain, whose clients include the last two British American presidents, the last two British American, the last two American presidents, and the last 5 British prime ministers. I've now interviewed very successful entrepreneurs and business owners like Tim around the world. I'm opening the Diamond Show up now to people that want to broadcast on my platform and want to broadcast their story. Now, if you want to book yourself a Diamond Show, you want to talk to me about me coaching you to become a broadcaster, everything is heating up now. So I want you to get in the game. I want to hear your story. I want you to go to bradleychapman.com, where you can book your own show, and I can coach you and train you to become a broadcaster. Now, I want to get as many people around the world, the Diamond Show Ireland, the Diamond Show America, the Diamond Show Canada, and I want representatives that's going to be broadcasting on my Diamond Show page. It's time to unleash the story inside you. So whatever you want to broadcast, news, relevant topics, advertising, marketing, business coach, life coach, whether you've got a story and you've got programs to help people, whatever it is you want to do, I want to hear from you, because the Diamond Show is opening up. I've already now secured one lady in London, one lady in Ireland. I'm now talking to someone in Canada and someone in America. So that's 4 different broadcasters that will be able to broadcast direct on my Diamond Show page. 1, it will help you to build your visibility and brand and identity. 2, you will come under the Diamond Show, but I want you also to launch your own show, but use the power of my platform, so that whoever I interview, whoever I meet, will be automatically connected with you as a broadcaster. So please, just to add that, go to bradleychapman.com or ping me a message on Messenger. I'm now taking on applications for the Diamond Show page for you to broadcast your story, to have your regular slot when you broadcast of the topic of your choice. And as Tim Burt says, you've got to get in the game. You've got to get on the pitch. Tim has shared some amazing tips today with us on cryptocurrency. on blockchain. We've been talking about digital currencies. We've been talking about digital wallets. We've been talking about Bitcoin. So please, if you're just joining us now, go back to the start of the broadcast, watch it again, like, comment and share. And don't forget to say hi, put a comment in and say where you are, because the only way the universe is going to know where you are at. My name is Bradley Chapman. This is the Diamond Show, and we've been with Mr. Tim Burt, the main man from the USA. Tim, thanks for joining, buddy. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank everybody for their comments, likes, and shares.
Thank
Tim,
you.
just a quick goodbye to everybody and thank them for coming on.
Thanks for all the comments. Find out more about me, timburtmedia.com. I will be coming to London in July. I am speaking at Bradley's event. That is going to be awesome. I hope, would love to see you there. You're going to get a wealth and a world of information and life-changing stuff. I promise you that. I promise you that. So thank you. Thanks, Bradley, for having me on to talk about this, because it's exciting stuff, and we're at the very, very beginning. Yeah, I'm going to be very pleased to do some more broadcasts on this crypto. But also, Tim, want to speak to you off air about the Diamond Show, your advertising segment on the Diamond Show. Perhaps we can have a chat about that as well, because it's going to bring some great value and bring you in closer. So, ladies and gentlemen, visit bradleychapman.com to find out more about me and the Diamond Show and how you can get involved. I want to say thank you to all our guests that's been joining us today live on this amazing broadcast. And this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we got 8 p.m. UK GMT. Cryptocurrency Congress broadcast in London. The London event is March the 17th with Harry Sadinas. Join us live this evening, where we're going to be talking to Dirk Ludwig, the amazing man who knows all about cryptocurrency and how you can get involved to change your life, hopefully in the best, most positive way. I'm Brad Chapman. This is the Diamond Show. We've been with Mr. Tim Burt. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless, take care, and have a great afternoon wherever you are around the world. It's your time to shine. Your story is there. Let's share it, ladies and gentlemen. Love you all. Take care. Goodbye now.